Seated by the window, Setsu Suzaki peers out with a gloomy expression. The tranquility is disrupted when his childhood friend, Yuhei Hanabashira, inquires enthusiastically about his activities. Instead of responding, Setsu advises her to refrain from engaging with him to prevent potential bothersome gossip. Unfazed, Yuhei playfully tassels Setsu's long hair, expressing her indifference towards rumors. Setsu responds with a gentle smile and starts contemplating the existence of another world. Suddenly, a portal materializes in their classroom. Setsu's entire class is instantly transported to a new world. As they are shocked in this foreign land, Yuki is not so because he has been here before. They are attacked by demonic knights. Yuhei Hanabashira protects him, but that won't necessarily be the case, as he easily flicks it away with his finger. The royal knights are soon here to counterattack while the students run for cover. Yuki is stumped because he was here 5 years ago when the war ended. But he notes that the knights have curses. The students are before the king of Destinia as he explains another war has befallen on the land, hence their summoning to save this world. He assures them that they did this 5 years ago with another hero and won. The knights start training them, but since Yuki slacks off, Uruka decides to teach him a lesson by sparring with him. As Setsu dodges Uruka's attacks with ease, the girl realizes that she's in the presence of the infamous Setsu Suzaki the hero. After that, she takes him to see the rest of his friends, Glein and Thea, who are glad he is back. First, Setsu explains that, after his final battle with Tauma, he disappeared. More precisely, he reincarnated in another world with his memories intact. That is why he looks different. There is a possibility Tauma is behind this war since he too has not been found ever since. The king decides to screw up the peace accord with demons that the hero made 5 years ago. He regrets doing that and is calling for an all-out war with them. Because of that, Setsu wants to stop this war by himself. This time, he will go alone. But first, he needs to get his sword, Kiromaru. His pals help him sneak into the storeroom to get it. Before he leaves, Yuhei is worried and wants to come with him, promising she will be useful. He reveals this is his second time summoned to this world, and to keep her safe, stay here with the rest. She promises to protect this place while he is gone, since her magic abilities are improving. Ruri's grandpa once told her about the craftsman's pride. The exception is when it comes to money. Grandpa died, and poor Ruri is left to carry out his last wishes. As she is transporting this brooch late at night, she is attacked by a monster. Thank goodness for Setsu passing by to get rid of it. She wants to hire him as a bodyguard until the next port. At first, he declines since he has other stuff to do, but he doesn't want to make this little girl cry. At Marseille, Ruri is trying to find a ship to the demon continent, but nobody is willing to go there since there is a war going on. When knights inspect Ruri and she refuses to show her brooch, they are about to get rough and bully her, but her bodyguard comes to her rescue. He even dares to fight them. Fearing the crowd might spread bad rumors about them, the knights go away. The duo spent the night at the inn together. Ruri is telling the story of her late grandpa and how he entrusted this brooch delivery because the last client sent it in for repairs. Grandpa also talks about the real pride other than money, as Ruri accepted the task. Setsu recognizes this brooch as he has cast protection magic on it before. That night, the knights barged in to arrest them for being suspected as demon spies. Setsu takes Ruri and runs through the streets, making a fool out of those chasing goons. When they reach a dead end at the port, Setsu then summons the god of the seas, Leviathan, as they hitch a ride across the ocean. The knights can't believe it and think they must be dreaming. Ruri, too, is in shock and wonders if her bodyguard is more than meets the eye. They finally arrive at the demon continent. Leviathan, or Levia for short, can transform into a human form too. She helps destroy this giant squid as Setsu makes fried squid rings. Ruri gets the shock of her life when she learns that the parcel she is supposed to deliver is to Desastel Sereno, who is the current demon lord. Levia doesn't want to accompany them any further, as she has done her job. She is sulking that Setsu disappeared for 5 years, and when he returned, he treated her like a boat. They go to the village, and they are grateful because that squid has been a hindrance to their business. They have a big party celebration. Everybody is happy eating that delicious squid. Ruri further learns from Levia that Setsu is that Setsu, the hero who brought peace 5 years ago. Because of Levia's promise to him, the oceans are now much safer. Vlad, who is Dezastel's top guard, thinks the party is an attack from humans. He barges in but sees everyone in revelry. Learning Setsu is back, he hopes he can help save Dezastel. She is betrothed to a man named Taran Sneeder. Apparently, he's the world's richest man, and as a merchant, he controls a lot of stuff. The marriage is a sham, and it is only to subdue Dezastel with some spell. Setsu is shocked to learn that humans attacked this place many times, although Vlad and his guards managed to repel them. Because Dezastel wants peace, she sent emissaries, but none have returned. Then this Terran showed up and claimed he could give her that in exchange for her hand in marriage. Setsu is mad that Dezastel allowed herself to be a slave for peace, but she is sharply reminded that she is only keeping her promise to Setsu. Saying it's his fault and knowing they can't let this happen, Setsu and Levia race up the mountains and kill all the monsters that attack them along the way. Setsu believes that both sides think they attack each other first. Perhaps there is a mastermind behind it all to step in and negotiate for peace, but with ulterior motives. A flashback shows that after Setsu and Dezastel fought, they promised peace, and he gave her a brooch to commemorate that. 5 years on, her kingdom is prospering, but it could be a sign of a bad omen when her brooch cracked, so she sent it for repairs as suggested by Vlad. When war started to arrive on their shores, Dezastel didn't want to jump to conclusions and sent some of her emissaries to find out more, but they never returned. That is when Taran came to see her, and in exchange for her hand in marriage, he can end this war right now. While her generals are against this, Dezastel has to think hard before accepting it because of her promise to Setsu. Taran and a hooded guy are happy that this plan is going well. Taran will get the demon, while Hoodie gets the demonic kingdom. However, the latter claims this is the will of his master. On the day of the wedding, Taran shows off this bracelet that will make Dezastel submit to him. A tearful Dezastel accepts her fate when the Setsu crashes in to save the day. A relief in her face when she sees it is Setsu. Taran cowers for his life, while the hooded guy has his henchmen fight him. Levia takes them all down until a hooded guy traps him in her shadow. Setsu is superior, but the hooded guy isn't giving his 100% because he needs to report to his master and escape. Taran is arrested, and they investigate the bracelet, which is cursed. Setsu suspects it is the work of Talma. Dezastel is willing to help him, but Setsu needs to depart for the land of Regulus to get the aid of the Beastman King. Ruri enters just in time to complete her brooch delivery. Setsu puts it on her for the second time, as she once again thanks him for teaching her how to live. Setsu departs, and Dezastel hopes he'll come straight back here once everything is over. A flashback shows Yuhai and Yuki as childhood friends. She wanted them to go to the same high school, thus taking this cram class, but he found it troublesome and didn't care. This made her upset, so she went to cram school herself. However, she is of the failing grade. Depressed, she met some bad company who wanted her to give up and hang out and have fun with them. Had Yuki not come to her rescue, she might have actually turned into a bad girl. It was then that Yuhai wanted to forever be with Yuki, whom she loves. And now we see her training her magic and skills hard. She seeks out Elka to further train her. She brings her to the sewers to fight a sewer crocodile. Although Yuhai stood her ground, the only downside is that she cannot kill it. She gets wounded and needs Elka to finish the job. She advised her, "You must kill to protect." The next day, Yuhai still has her mind on this, so she talks to Thea and Glein, who give their opinions about the matter. Eventually, it is for her to decide and determine what she wants to do. Revenge match as Yuhai fights the sewer crocodile again. This time she wins, but she knocks it out without killing it. This is the determination she has decided to stick with. To fight without killing. To never take a life. Elka accepts her determination because that's what Setsu also said. The next day, Glein gathers the students as they leave for dawn for the demon nation of Eviltheon. On their way to Regulus, Setsu and Levia stumble into Elize. She is Setsu's self-proclaimed student. With Elize is her sister, Emil. Not blood-related. Setsu invites them to join him to head to Regulus, but Elize can't as she has taken up an important quest, so slay a dragon. When Emil came to this village, she lived with her brother, but he went missing when a dragon attacked. Elize felt pity for her and decided to become her sister to stem her loneliness. Then, when Elize took on the quest to slay the dragon, the odd thing was that people went missing without a trace when it happened. There was one incident where Elize fought the dragon and chased it. However, she lost it, and when she returned to the village, everyone else disappeared. Emil was the only one left. Hence, that is why she is now taking her to the city to have someone look after her till she finishes this mission. Setsu is going to help her, so they discuss the various mysterious phenomena behind the dragon's true identity. Then Setsu wonders why the dragon kept attacking the village, and if the people disappear, they need to go somewhere. Hence, there must be a very strong magic user to use this teleport magic. The best way is to ask the person herself. Setsu suspects Emil as the culprit. What gave her away was that she could smell Levia's scent as a different race. However, Levia is god level and doesn't let that magic power leak out in human form. Emil transforms into a dragon to start attacking. A quick fight because Setsu soon takes her down. She bursts into many little balls of light. Setsu and Levia continue their journey, while Elise remains behind to handle what's left. However, she is soon confronted by Emil. She isn't dead. That attack can't kill her. She reveals all the villagers have high magic properties, and hence she has turned them into her dolls since magic soldiers are needed for the war. Emil's true name is Meluar, and she controls all sorts of monsters. This name was given by Talma. Sharniko is much loved by many, as she helps fight monsters to protect people. However, she is doing all these jobs to help buy medicine for her sick sister Mainko. She mostly gets her jobs from the innkeeper, Kuroinu, and she claims that her next job will pay her so handsomely that she won't have to work again, and she can even buy enough medicine to cure Mainko. That job is obviously to kill Setsu. Sharniko readies for this assassination job that night, but Setsu is well prepared and avoids her kill. Since she is desperate to kill him and Setsu doesn't like how she is getting reckless, he slaps her out. He notices that he has a curse on her. When Sharniko wakes up, she learns that Setsu brought her back to her home. He understands her situation and can also tell that Mainko is not suffering from an illness, but from a very powerful curse. He can help destroy this curse, but she needs to put up with a bit of pain as he transforms his sword into some sort of curse eater. But at this point, Kuroinu attacks. Sharniko shields Setsu from it. Since he needs to concentrate, Levia goes to deal with her. Obviously, there is no match for a sea god. When Sharniko is saddened about Kuroinu's true colors, Kuroinu starts to blame her for being useless and being unable to execute a simple order. She reveals that she is a pawn of Talma, whose goal is to become god and destroy every species in this world. Kuroinu escapes. Mainko is freed. The next day, Setsu and Levia continue their journey, but Sharniko and Mainko want to join them and could prove useful in battle. They need some guidance if they're heading to the Beastman continent. 5 years ago, when Setsu trained Roa, the daughter of Regulus, king of the Beastmen, she refused to call him her master unless he beat her. Setsu beat her, and now she is happy to welcome her master back after a long absence. Even Regulus happily welcomes his friend back. The Beastmen are deliberating on the war between humans and demons. Both are their enemies. Regulus wants to come with Setsu to go defeat Talma, but as suggested, he is to stay here and have Roa go instead. This is all opposed by Rauga, the commander of Regulus' army and Roa's supposed fiancé. Rauga and Roa argue about Setsu being trustworthy or not. Since both have valid points, Regulus will have this settled like any other Beastman, a duel. And the winner will also earn the right to marry Roa. That night, Roa warns Rauga about Setsu being on a whole different level. He can't defeat him. Rauga also knows that, but he is confident in this small chance. The next day, the arena is filled as everyone is revved up for this fight. Rauga goes all out, but that is not even enough to ruffle any of Setsu's feathers. Not even when he is in beast mode. Setsu is the obvious winner, and he won't attack Rauga anymore. Rauga takes this as an insult, saying that he isn't even worth that. His anger and jealousy propel the mark to activate and make him go berserk. This farce ends as Talma makes his appearance by killing off Rauga. He is happy to see Setsu again, but the feeling isn't mutual. Talma is not happy. Setsu has always promised others, and it is always about someone else. That is why he is going to kill the entire world, so they can both live in it together as gods. Setsu doesn't like this plan, so Talma dares him to come to the demon continent. As things have already begun, Talma is confident he can win him over this time. Regulus immediately prepares a ship for Setsu's party. Old sentiments can wait after this is over. We go back 10 years, when Setsu and Talma were summoned to Destinia for the first time. The people who summoned them were happy to have summoned a couple of heroes to help them fight in the war, but Setsu wasn't happy to be used as their pawn and told them off. However, he has to be realistic and help them since they are already here. Setsu has been strong since the start, unlike Talma, who was low on self-confidence and weak. But thanks to Setsu's encouraging words, this boosted Talma's morale as they both made promises as friends. Setsu has become strong enough to go off on his own to fight the war. Their latest promise was to meet again. Talma stayed behind and continued to work hard until he was made the general of the king's army. He led his men to several battlefronts and conquered their enemies. On one mission at a temple, some voice spoke to him and claimed she could make all his desires come true. Talma accepted that deal, seeing as he wanted to see Setsu again. One day, a messenger came to tell Talma that the war was over and a peace treaty was to be signed. The thing was, Talma saw Setsu riding in a carriage happily with Regulus and Desastel. This made Talma sad. When peace came, Talma finally managed to see Setsu. Talma claimed he has found a way home and they can go back together. However, Setsu doesn't want to go back. He wants to see more of this world. This was when Talma snapped as the evil power of the pendant overtook him. In his rage, Talma attacked Setsu and thought everyone else was in the way. If he kills everybody, perhaps Setsu will return to who he was. As we all know, during the intense fight, Setsu vanished. Talma returned to the temple, lamenting that none of his wishes had come true. Then the pendant showed him various people being tortured and experimented on mercilessly. Realizing there were others like him too, Talma went to destroy that facility and free them. Now they join him and his cause to destroy the world that rejected them. It's time for the big battle. Ulka and her side are fighting the demon side. While the students will fight, the local soldiers get killed, and as the battle rages on, golems are summoned. Ulka's side is disheartened to find they have to fight Elize. She is now a puppet of Meluar. Meluar then uses her blood to summon some monsters, but they all get defeated. Then Elize gets knocked out, and Elka pierces through her magic organ. However, Meluar still lives. Due to those previous experiments, she has extra organs in her body. Technically a monster. She would have been in worse condition had not Talma saved her, and that is why she fights for him. Then she summons her ultimate monster, a chimera, and fuses with it using her life force and hatred. Everyone has a hard time fighting it, but as luck would have it, Elize sneaks up from behind to stab Meluar. With no more magic organs left, Meluar is petrified. Elize has weakened considerably, but with some healing spells, she will be okay. The battle is not over yet as another of Talma's generals pops up. Elka's side is too exhausted and injured and in no shape to fight him. They are forced to rely on Yuhai, who will show the fruits of her training. But Setsu drops in to stop this war. Keidru is that hooded guy with Terran. He relishes a chance to fight Setsu as he claims this world needs to be destroyed because it is weak as opposed to Setsu who will protect them. But now we take a detour as we see Shireniko and Mineko fight Kuroinu. Shireniko and Mineko combine and fuse to give Kuroinu a taste of defeat. Meanwhile, Verdos, one of Talma's generals, is easily picking off the demon army. This is where Roa comes in to fight this tranny whose body is made of steel and strong hard substance due to the experiments. Despite Roa taking in all the damage, she still doesn't give up and continues to fight back until her punch goes through him. Roa has taken a lot of lethal damage, but after seeing her relentless pride, Verdos heals her and admits defeat. As for why he worked under Talma, he claims nobody would accept a freak like him. Now we return to Setsu's fight with Keidru. Setsu wants to skip this and go straight to the big boss, but Keidru will wager his life and dons this shadow armor that absorbs all energy. Setsu's sword can just cut through anything, and with Keidru armorless and on the verge of death, he still wants to carry on fighting. Setsu is forced to put him out of his misery. It's time for the final boss fight. The final fight of Setsu versus Talma is here. When Talma can't beat him, he transforms his sword into a gun. He fires it, putting a hole in the mountain. Setsu is too fast to dodge his shots. Talma turns it into a Gatling gun. With Setsu's friends here to cheer him on, this only makes Talma mad. So he is sacrificing his life for this ultimate godlike weapon. Talma gets sneaky and targets his friends. There is only so much Setsu's sword can take, and the rest might hit them. Luckily, they can protect themselves with their barrier. Setsu then deals a fatal blow to Talma, but this only awakens him further as his gun transforms again. Talma attacks this, able to knock down Setsu. Talma thinks he has won and finally beat him. Setsu gets up and admits that Talma has gotten stronger, but unless he regains the things precious to him, he will never beat him. Talma is shocked that he can still use some dimensional magic. Setsu lets this magic engulf Talma, who is now scared and doesn't want to die. He gets eaten up. Soon, he wakes up, still alive. Setsu says his goal was to make him come to his senses and destroy the curse that was on him. Talma realizes he can never beat him. In the aftermath, Talma is sentenced to use all his magic to transfer Setsu's classmates back to their world. He is to also join them to start over. Talma decides to go on a journey to see what he can do in this world. Soon, Setsu also goes on his own journey, but he won't be alone because now he has Yuhai as company. So they visit various places, and we see everyone living their peaceful lives. Like Ruri, who operates a very successful Squid Ring stall, while Shireniko and Mineko have joined Roa's ranks, she is now the commander to train and best Setsu. Thank you for watching until the end, and don't forget to subscribe.